What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of the Soda Adventures, and here we are at Garphish Brewing Company. Are you Marvel or DC?
Marvel.
That's my man. All right. Hey guys, what's up? I'm here at Garphish Brewing Company with Brandon.
What's up, everybody?
And we're here trying to figure out what in the world makes this beer so delicious. But let's start out first with, all right, so are you the brewmaster here? Is that the definition used?
Brewmaster is such a stuffy word. I'm a home brewer turned professional brewer, I guess. I do make my living brewing beer. So if that's the definition of a brewmaster, then yeah, I'm a brewmaster.
The master of brews. All right, so then how many years have you been doing this for?
Brewing total about 10, professionally for 4. Yep, started home brewing in about 2010.
Were you ever one of those guys that did the home brewing in the bathtub? One of my best friends, his dad growing up, it was always brewing beer in the bathtub.
I got kicked out of the kitchen after batch like 2 or 3. You ever seen a boil over? Yeah, I did get kicked out to the garage. About 5-6 batches in. I've even been accused of aging beer, cellaring beer in the nursery. It's the warmest room in the house, so yeah, getting things to bubble up. Yeah, it happened.
Got to do what you got to do.
Yeah,
I get that. All right, so out of all the places that you could have picked in Minnesota, I've always been wondering, why did you pick Bethel, Minnesota, to open this brewery?
Benny, that's a great question. I didn't pick Bethel, Minnesota. Bethel, Minnesota picked us. We were looking at a number of properties, Blaine, Ham Lake, Andover, East Bethel. We landed on East Bethel. It didn't work out with the municipality. They just put in city sewer and water, as a lot of you may know. It was really expensive to hook up to that. So we kind of shelved the idea for the brewery for about 6 months, and then just cruising commercial properties late at night and noticed a building for sale. And I thought there's got to either be a 1 or a 0 missing from the price, but no, we bought this building for $50,000.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, that'll about do it then. All right. How did you come up with the name Garphish? Where did this pop into your head?
You got to start with knowing what a gar is, a long-nosed gar. There's several different species of gar. A lot of people see them on like Nat Geo or something, and they're like 6, 7, 8 feet long, down south. In Minnesota, we have 2 species of garfish, long-nosed and short-nosed. My father-in-law snagged a long-nosed gar off the end of the dock at the cabin in Ottertail County on a lake that will remain unnamed. Yeah, so that's a long-nosed gar on the wall there. That is just a couple inches under the state record. We shot it at about 3 in the morning with a bow and arrow. So that was, we got to back up just a little bit, because like I said, my father-in-law snagged a gar off the end of the dock. About 2 weeks later, trolling, a big one swam by. And he's like, I got to get the guys, I got to get the men up in the family fishing for these things. And that just morphed into a family reunion. And that was right around the same time I started homebrewing. So there was a keg of homebrew on the deck at the cabin, and that was the Garphish beer. So if you were going to go fish gar, you had to drink the Garphish beer. Garphish Brewing Company.
I love that. That is spot on. That is perfect. That is a great way to come up with that name. All right, so how many beers do you guys make here?
We've brewed probably over 45, 50 recipes individually. We do try to keep anywhere between 10 and 12 beers on tap. Right now we have 14, which is pretty rare, but we try to mix it up, have some sours, some light beers, something more approachable. Self-admittedly, I'm a hophead. I like IPAs, so I do try to keep a few IPAs on tap. We do some barrel-aged stuff. I tell people we have everything from a jalapeno kolsch to a peanut butter stout. So, peanut butter porter, excuse me. Yeah.
Now, I will say that I've only had one bad beer here, and that was the jalapeno one. That is the one I could not get past. I tried hard, but I just...
Beauty's in the eye of the beholder, Benny. Isn't that what they say? Beauty's in the eye of the beholder. Yeah, it's actually one of our best-selling beers.
Really?
Yeah, so a fun fact about that beer is before we opened, I was not going to put that on the menu. And my dad was drinking a lot of my homebrew and said, what about the pepper beer? You're going to do the jalapeno beer? And I thought, well, he did so much work getting ready to open, I got to have a beer that he likes on tap. And it took off. It's got a huge following now. It's been on tap at like 3 different restaurants. Local liquor stores carry it. So yeah, it's very popular. Pretty good with Bloody Mary mix.
That's awesome. So you are in different liquor stores then throughout Minnesota here, or?
Yeah, primarily just Isani and Anoka County. Yep. A couple tap accounts, one in Andover, one in Blaine. 2 or 3 more coming online here shortly. So yeah, we do some local, some small scale distribution.
All right. So out of all the beers that you've created, I mean, what would you say is your number one favorite, the one that stands out completely?
My number one favorite would probably be our either one of our house IPAs, Long Lake or Stalker Lake. Like I said, I'm a hop head, but I always joke around when I'm bartending or something. People ask me what's my favorite, and I say, that's like asking me which one of my kids is my favorite. It's Harper, by the way.
I was about to say we all have one.
Yeah, we all have one, right? Anybody that tells you they don't have a favorite child is lying. So yeah, like I said, my favorite beer is the one in front of me usually, whether I brewed it or not. I just enjoy everything about it. It's the original social media. I mean, beer is the conduit of conversation, has been for thousands of years. So,
amen to that. I agree. All right, so for all those brewers that are starting out being home brewers, out of all your experience that you've learned, what is probably one of the biggest tips that you could give the guys at home, up and coming? What would be one of the things that you would say, that is something that I wish I knew?
Admittedly, it's something I still struggle with as a brewer, and that's consistency. It's making the same beers over and over and over, and making them quality. And like the big breweries in this country get ripped on pretty bad. Like just yellow fizzy beer. Whether it's Bud, Miller, Coors, pick your favorite, right? And that's not like in reality, those are some of the best brewers on the planet because it has to be consistent, right? Bud Light has to taste the same everywhere you go. So does Coors. So for me, it's consistency. But advice, yeah, man, just brew the same recipe and brew the heck out of it and make small individual tweaks. Whether it's a hop schedule, when you add the hops, how much you add, changing things like mash temp and knowing what that does to the grain. Be consistent and then really just kind of change one thing at a time. Brewing's an art form. So even 4 years in, if I deviate from a recipe a little bit and feel like throwing a little bit of this in there instead of a little bit of that, or boiling a little longer or a little shorter, brewing's an art form. It's meant to be. And I think that's what makes craft beer unique is some of the variety. Brewers like to geek out on ingredients and processes. So to me, without that, it does get kind of stale. But to be a good brewer, you got to be consistent. You got to know your ingredients. Just honing in on consistency.
Awesome. All right. Well, see, I love Garphish. This has been a great place to come to. It's real close to home, and it's always good beer. But I want to know what do you see as the future for Garphish? I mean, where's your dream? Where are you taking this?
That's a good question. I think it boils down to making sure that people have fun, enjoying the experience. I tell my staff all the time, we get compliments on the room. It's a pretty unique tap room. It's 114 years old. If these tin walls could talk, some of the stories they could tell. But I always tell our staff at meetings and company parties and stuff, like, people love the experience of Garphish more than they love the beer and the brand, and that's okay. I love the fact that I get more compliments on my staff and the atmosphere and the fun and the good times than our product. You gotta have good beer to get people in the door. That goes without saying. But it all boils down to the customer experience. We don't have TVs. We got a sign back there that says we don't have Wi-Fi. Talk to each other. So it's making friendships, and it's cool to see the same groups of people come in and hang out and have a beer together. That's cool. That's why I did it. I see the future of Garphish as just continuing that and broadening that out. We haven't done any advertising. It's all been word of mouth. I have not paid for any advertisement since we've opened in 4 years, and I think that's pretty cool.
That is awesome.
So, but yeah, staying local, making sure that original, family recipe, if you want to call it that, of just having fun. We like to say serve the Lord, serve good beer, always in that order. And I think if you put people first, which is what serving the Lord is, being kind to your fellow man, and being a fun spot for people to hang out with, treating people with respect. Being a soundboard if they want to talk to you. That's doing that forever would be awesome, right? That's the future. Doing that well into the perceivable future would be my goal for sure.
Very cool. Very cool. All right. Well, hey, I got to tell you, you guys got to come check out Garphish. They got live music, they got trivia nights, they got all sorts of goodies. You guys have got to come check this out. Stay for the beer, make some great memories here. And before I forget to tell you, go check out your Hop Passport. They're on page number 35, Garphish. Get your stamp here. We'll see you guys next time, eh?
Hey, don't forget to smash that subscribe button. That's for Darren.